Hello everybody and welcome to OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. I'm Jack and today I'm here with round 1 of the July tournament, Pokebeach tournament. A series that we're not really bringing back as a staple series, but just at least for a month or two, me and Joe are going to be trying to participate in this again because it's it's a real good sort of thing that they're doing. So yeah, this is round 1. Our opponent is, I want to say, Maeglin C. We're going to be playing Decidueye. You can see the deck list on the side there. And yeah, we're just going to jump straight into it. Looks like he's got Lightning, Psychic, and Colourless. Will indeed call Tails. Had a Tapu Koko box, so maybe we're going to be seeing a Tapu Koko deck. That could be cool. Starting Shaman is pretty unfortunate. As you can see, we're only running one Shaman in this list. It's a list that's a bit different from the channel. It's something that I'm trying out. Obviously, Joe and I are big fans of VS Seeker in the deck, but I'm trying out without VS Seeker and just a bit more consistency, going with a fourth physical copy of N instead. Then things like the 2 Field Blower over the 3rd Trainer's Mail as well. So a bit more recovery as well. Got a Rayquaza. I think we're just going to go straight for the Ultra Ball here. Rayquaza could imply Tapu Koko here because it's the kind of deck that you want to ramp energy onto early. I think we are going to be using Ninetales in this game as well. So I'm going to get rid of, I think, these two here. Though we could get rid of the Ninetales and Rescue Stretcher it back. Though I think Rescue Stretcher should hopefully get us a bit more value later on in the game. And hopefully Bridget is not prized. So none of our Decidueye line is prized. Got 1 Vulpix prize. Running 3 Tapu Lele as well, just because you want to hit this turn 1 Tapu Lele, even if it's not just for Bridget. Okay, our other Lysander's prized. That's worth noting. And we've got 1 of each energy prized. Okay, we'll grab ourselves a Tapu Lele here. And we will indeed go for the Bridget. Getting ourselves 2 Rowlet and a Vulpix. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to remove the Shaman, but hopefully our opponent is going to be kind enough to N us. And then I'm going to level ball for the second Dartrix this turn as well, just because I don't want to draw into it. I want to draw into a draw supporter if I can. And it's not too much of a punish if we get End Away here, because we want to be End Away anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this turn 1. Got ourselves a turn 1 Bridget, which is cool. Tapu Koko, one of the only things that they can do to deal with Ninetales is if you overextend on energy, they can GX attack you. So as long as I keep an armor energy count, Alolan Ninetales should be able to deal with at least one of his Tapu Kokos. He's indeed playing Tapu Koko GX. And he does N us, which is perfect. Also, using the level ball to search for the Dartrix this turn means he knows we have a card that we want in our hand. So he may also be inclined to N us early as well. Doesn't quite get this turn 1 Turbo Storm, unless he has other ways of ramping energy. Maybe Max Elixir plus E-Switch kind of things, though E-Switch would be a weird in a deck that essentially the main attacker has the ability E-Switch anyway, or like a really strong E-Switch. Gets an Oranguru. It's unfortunate that our second Vulpix is prized, because it's going to mean that we potentially can't beacon. Oh, we do get the Forest off the top. I was really hoping for Forest because we have a Decidueye in hand already. We have the Floatstone as well. We can either attach an energy and sack an energy, but because we've got 1 of each energy prize, I think I'd rather commit the Floatstone for now, and just Sky Return it back later. So this way I'm sacking the energy in this way instead, rather than just discarding this Floatstone for no real benefit. So we are going to ditch these 2, grab ourselves a Dartrix. Yeah, I would normally be quite happy to beacon here, but because we've only got 1 Vulpix, I'm potentially just going to go straight for the Ninetales play, simply because I don't want to have to force myself into a situation where I don't have a Vulpix to evolve into a Ninetales. Though I can't see a way of him actually knocking us out potentially next turn. Alternatively, we could just start swinging with Tapu Lele here. Or we could Sky Return out. I think we're definitely going to be Feather Arrowing this Tapu Koko, because it's going to mean that we can respond one shot a Sky High Claws with a Snipe next turn, if he does manage to get one. Though I don't have the Ninetales to evolve into. I think we're just going to attach to Lele here and start swinging with Lele. I think that's perfectly fine. We don't want this Rayquaza to get too much value for him. Doesn't have any in the discard at the moment. Could have again potentially beaconed. Like I say, the only reason I don't want to beacon too much here is simply because we only have this one Vulpix. If we had a second Vulpix that we could bench, then I'd happily sack this Vulpix off and start beaconing to set up our board. But I don't want to be in a situation where we don't have a Vulpix to evolve into the Ninetales. Discarded a Lele to grab a Jolteon. That's interesting. Okay, he's just ditching the Jolteon. That's fair enough. Hoping to grab a second energy for Turbo Storm to start attaching to, or ramping up Tapu Koko. Aether Paradise is going to mean is kind of annoying, but it's not going to bother us with this Ray. And Ice Path places places damage counters rather than doing physical damage, so it also gets around that. So it's not too much of an issue probably for this first Tapu Koko, provided we can find the Alola Ninetales relatively quickly. Sends up the Oranguru just to sack it off. I don't really mind that at all because I'm probably going to have to go through 2 non-EXs anyway. And if we can find ourselves a Ninetales here, we can actually potentially still knock this Rayquaza out. So we can bounce this for sure. We could Lele for Sycamore here, but I want to keep, like, Espeon is pretty useless, but I don't want to get rid of all 4 of our ends, considering we don't play Via Seeker. I'm going to attach the... Where do I want to attach the band? If I attach the band to Lele, we're going to be doing 130. So yeah, again, attaching to Lele is fine. As long as we make sure we keep an eye on our energy and how much we've used, how much we've placed down. That's pretty much all we need to do in this matchup. We do indeed have the outs to be able to get another Decidueye next turn. This turn. So let's indeed do that. We have the Revitalizer in hand, so I don't mind discarding both of these just to grab a Dartrix. And then we have the Trainer's Mail to hopefully find a second Ultra Ball or some kind of physical supporter for next turn anyway. Unfortunately we whiff. Could have potentially saved that for next turn. Not going to attach the DCE, like I say, because we want to play around his GX attack if we can. I'll place a second on here. If he wants to, like, max potion this 40 damage off, I'd rather him max potion 40 damage as opposed to like max potioning a big hit from me. So I don't mind leaving this on 40. And again, I'm just going to try and spread my damage out because he's likely to be running max potion. That's kind of the way the deck works. So we're just going to sort of pepper everything up a little bit. Set everything up for potential Ninetales KOs or potential Decidueye Snipe KOs. Should have probably saved that Trainer's Mail till next turn. That's probably a misplay. Gets the max elixir. Gets the third energy. And the Field Blower. So this choice band is out of the way for him. However, if he Tapu Kokos us here... Okay, he's just going to go straight for the Ray. That's fair enough. I was going to say, if he Tapu Koko'd here, I wouldn't mind attaching this DCE. Again, we wouldn't be playing around this GX attack anymore. But we'd be taking all of his energy off board. which is pretty big. Do indeed get another trainer's mail. And we grab an N. Yeah. There's no point in us taking the forest. We need to be able to do something next turn. Not going to attach this DCE just because, again, want to play around that GX attack. Don't want to force Ninetales into an awkward position. Do get the Ninetales as well. So I am indeed going to evolve here. We're knocking out this Ray, so both of our snipes can go on either Oranguru or Tapu Koko. I think they probably will both go on to Tapu Koko. Then he's at 80. Yeah, okay, so if we put both on Tapu Koko, he's going to be at 80. Then we knock out this Rayquaza. He can respond us. Either we have enough energy, either the Tapu Lele is still alive and we have enough energy to Energy Drive knockout, or we have the ability to Ice Blade plus Double Snipe to knock it out anyway. So as long as we don't attach this energy and he doesn't, so he can't sort of Lysander knock out the Alola Ninetales, we're in a pretty good spot. I'm also going to... He didn't get rid of the Float Stone, that's interesting. He chose to get rid of the forest over this Float Stone. I think I'm going to hold this board. I don't want to bench anything else here. So let's just take this single prize. I wouldn't be surprised if our Tapu Lele gets knocked out here. But like I say, we have the response knockout. Okay, Eighth of Paradise means we need to either find Forest or Choice Band now. Or one of our Field Blowers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, I think 5 outs from this Sycamore. Yeah, it does get a Choice Band, so he is going to be... Oh, okay, so he's going straight for this Tapu Koko instead. That makes sense to try and preserve this. $160 again, not a big issue for us because as long as we don't play into Tapu Thunder GX, we're completely fine. Can just attach this DCE. I think I'm going to bench both of these two. And then I'm going to Ultra Ball out the Espeon because we're never going to get value from Espeon in this game. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outs from this Sycamore to be able to still knock this. Actually, no. Okay, now Choice Bandit isn't an out. So we've got 4 outs to be able to knock this out. Field Blower is the best one, and we do indeed get it. Is Field Blower the best one? Yeah, I think Field Blower is the best one here. He still knocks out. Well, either way, Field Blower is what we have to play. But yeah, we're gonna knock out this bench Tapu Koko. I'm gonna hold this Choice Band just so he doesn't Field Blower it off. So if he wants to Sky High Claws us, we're going to be able to knock him out. And if he wants to Tapu Thunder GX, he's wasting his GX attack for 100 damage. And if he Choice Bands it, we're on the same amount of damage anyway. So there's not really a perfect line of play for him here. Both of his attacks kind of play into ours. Either he's playing into our GX attack and we're knocking him out, or he's using a subpar attack in Tapu Thunder. And honestly, I don't mind then GX attacking that anyway, probably. I actually think it's probably better for him to potentially retreat. Yeah, potentially retreat into Oranguru here and attack with Oranguru. Psychic for 100. So we can knock out this Oranguru here. His response could potentially knock us out. do want to Lysander here. Can definitely do this. I don't really want to GX this because, you know, it's a non-EX. What's the best line of play here? If we attack, if we Ice Blade, knock this out. Ninetales is our big win condition against this normally, so I think we actually have to knock this out and hope he doesn't have a way of attaching 2 energy. He's only got a 4-card hand. He's used 2 max elixirs and he's gone through 8 energy. So I think it's actually fine to just knock out this Oranguru here. Potentially he could punish us by if he manages to get 3 energy on board. He potentially could punish us here. If he gets 3 energy on board, either way, either attack is going to knock us out. So we may as well attach an energy here. And then just go for the Ice Blade. It's fine to attach his energy here because if he gets the 3rd energy to be able to use either of his attacks, he has enough damage to knock us out anyway, so it's not like we're playing into his GX attack, because he's doing a minimum of 130, which knocks us out anyway. There's the 2nd energy, so he needs like... Okay, he does indeed concede. He would have needed like a 2nd Pokemon, plus a Max Elixir, plus a Tapu Koko there, to be able to respond to us. And he'd gone through a lot of energy. So we'll ask him if he wants to go 1st or 2nd in this 2nd round, or in this 2nd game. Go 1st, game 2. Okie doke. He beats us to it. So he's going 2nd, so he's going to try and probably ramp a lot of energy onto board. Set up this Rayquaza for a turn to attack to try and, like I say, get even more energy on board. And we're going to be hunting for Vulpix turn 1. Oh, we have a really good hand actually. Tapu Koko, plus Level Ball to find the Vulpix, plus Ultra Ball to find Bridget if we want. Plus Trainer's Mails. Yeah, this hand is really good. Plays Raikou as well. Goes to that Ultra Ball. Probably going to see some energy discarded here to grab. Okay, he plays Kukui. Worth knowing that he plays Kukui. So we have to play around Kukui damage as well. So he could actually one-shot Tapu Lele's if he has Choice Band plus Kukui with Sky High Claws. That's worth knowing that he has access to that. Plus it's in his discard now, so VS Seekers are always an out. So I think with that, we're probably going to be Ultra Balling one of these Trainer's Mails and potentially the top card on our deck, or potentially this Level Ball for a Bridget. We have Sycamore. Could even potentially Shaman, though I could see myself not Shamaning here because it's a pretty easy 2 prizes for him. Goes for the N anyway. The fact we started Tapu Koko is brilliant because it means that we can, if we can find one Ball Search card, we can find, oh, we find the Vulpix anyway. Yeah, we have access to that. It's unfortunate that we're probably not going to get too much value out of this double colourless energy, but that's okay. Misses the Max Elixir, that's pretty unfortunate for him. So let's see what we've got prized. 1 Rowlet prized. Do have the 2nd Vulpix. I'm actually tempted to get 2 Vulpix here rather than 2 Rowlet. None of these prized. 1 Lele prized. 1 Forest prized. 1 Lysander prized. 1 N prized. And 1 Grass prized. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we're not going to get value out of, potentially not going to get value out of these cards here. Like, we could attach the DC to Tapu Koko here and flying flip, but it's going to do nothing to here and only 20 to here. So I think we're just better off praying that he doesn't have Lysander. It's kind of risky, but it's kind of what we've got to do, because I don't want to just throw this DC away. It's better off we're better off attaching it and not getting value. Could spread our resources out, so if he Lysanders one, he's not getting rid of a Choice Band and a DCE. Plus, if we've got a Choice Band on here with 3 Decidueye out, we can one-shot Tapu Kokos. So this feels okay. This sounds pretty good. We can get ourselves, from the beacon, we can get ourselves Dartrix plus Ninetales, and then we can Lele for N. Yeah, that's it, that feels good. Like, it's still going to be quite difficult for him to be able to knock this out. I think he needs Lysander plus, like, ramping energy. But it's not unheard of. But yeah, we're just going to go straight for the beacon, grabbing ourselves these two. Would fully expect an N here, if I'm honest. But again, if he's N'ing us, he's not going to be Lysander knocking out the Vulpix. Go to the Ultra Ball, so probably going to see a Lele here. Gets rid of 2 energy, so even Rayquaza wouldn't be a surprise. Always focusing on getting this Oranguru early out is real good for him. He didn't get a target, that's interesting. Super Rod's the energy back in. I wonder what he missed. Because he could always, like, if he wanted to instruct, he could always get a Pokemon and just bench it, like his Rayquaza or something. Do get the Ninetales, which is cool. Probably going to sack this Vulpix off, if I'm honest, still. No real reason to, like, pay a DCE just to start applying 50 pressure, because 50 pressure isn't doing much on this board. It doesn't set up any knockouts nicely. Unfortunately, we've drawn into our second Choice Band here. I'd love to be able to find Forest this turn. But I think we're going to have to discard this Trainer's Mail. Actually, we're not going to be attaching this because we don't want to play into Sky High Claw, Tapu Thunder GX for now anyway. So potentially could just discard this energy. It feels kind of sketchy, but like we don't. Ninetales is a big win condition for us here. It's really hard for him to deal with, so I think I'd rather do that. Do indeed get the Forest as well, which means if we draw into any Decidueyes off of this Sycamore, we're going to be able to start applying some pressure. Probably on this Raikou, if I'm honest, because it's naturally got some bulk to it, so applying the pressure here is probably best. I'd love to have saved one of these Choice Bands for Lele, but unfortunately we weren't able to. To get the Ultra Ball, I can see us N'ing next. I can see us Sycamore next turn rather than N. So we will get a Decidueye. So now we know he plays Kukui. He can do 50 bonus damage, so it's actually going to be okay to attach this Grass Energy here. Because he can't hit 210. He can hit 200, he can't hit 210, I'm pretty sure, with Tapu Thunder GX. Going to hold the rest of this hand. Just going to start applying pressure to this Raikou. I'm not too bothered about Oranguru, simply because Raikou, like I say, has this like built-in resistance. So I'd rather get the free 20 damage here than have to go through kind of resistance next turn. And we're just going to grab another Decidueye line here. Even if we have to Sycamore this Decidueye away, we've still got 2 in the deck. If he manages to bounce the Forest. have the float stone for next turn to potentially start, like I say, then applying pressure with Ninetales. I don't think there's going to be much we want. Goes for the N. So again, forcing resources out of him, forcing Ns out of him, rather than things like Sycamore or VSEeker that could be getting him more value. Does indeed get the third energy, so he's going to be doing 110 here, which is knocking out our Vulpix. Okay, we want to bounce this if we can, because this thing is a tank now. This thing is real tanky. Gonna send it to Tapu Koko. So, if we bench Lele and attach a DCE, we have enough energy plus snipe to knock it out if we can bounce this stadium. So we'd need to hit one of Stadium or Field Blower off of the 6-card N. Though, because we're Leleing, we do have Sycamore as an out. So yeah, let's Sycamore. At this point we are playing into Tapu Thunder GX, but if we can get rid of this Raikou, we're going to be getting a lot of energy off board for him. He can bring up Rayquaza, do 60 to us. We can respond doing 80, potentially 120, knocking him out. So I think it's actually okay to bench a Lele here. Like I say, we are playing into Tapu Thunder GX quite a bit here. I think we want to grab Sycamore just because we want to draw as many cards as possible. Going to be ditching an energy here, but I think that's okay. Do we want to shuffle this Vulpix back in, or just get the Dartrix straight away? I think we want to just get the Dartrix straight away. I don't think we're ever going to use a second Vulpix really, simply because we've already skewed the prize trade, or at least forced a 7 prize game potentially. So we'd rather do that, I think. Can we attach the float to this one over here? And see, N is still tempting, but I think we need to get rid of this 8th Paradise. And with only 3 outs in the deck, I'd rather draw 1 extra card. I think it's really important to bounce this. Yeah, we do bounce it, that's cool. Don't unfortunately get the Dartrix, the Forest to be able to evolve the Dartrix. But that's okay, because we're still taking this knockout here. I'm pretty sure, because we're going to be doing 100. This Feather Arrow is going to push through this is it Shining Armor? Shining Body ability. That's going to push through that, so we can energy drive him for knockout. Get 3 energy off the board. I don't know why I went for 2 prizes there. That would have been good. So potentially he could punish us here. The fact he attached the DC there, though, the choice band there, though, makes me think it's unlikely that he's going to punish. He'd need exactly Elixir plus Tapu Koko here. Has the Sycamore. Okay, so he could get it. Sycamore plus Tapu Koko. He could then Aero Trail in and GX attack us. If he GX attacks us, honestly, I still think we're probably fine. He's just played the Tapu Koko down. Go to the Field Blower. I would imagine on these 2. Oh, he gets rid of the Float Stone, okay. Doesn't value the Choice Band here, that's interesting. Turbo Storm is going to set him up for a Sky High Claws next turn. Oh, I'd love to have Forest in play right now. I think we're going to be ending this turn. Is there anything else we want to do? Lysander, we're only doing 80, 100, 120. We're only doing 120, so there's no point in Lysandering here. So we may as well just knock this Rayquaza out and skew the prize trade back into our favour. He's going to respond with potentially a Sky High Claws, potentially a Tapu Thunder with plus Lysander. Has he gone through any Lysanders yet? He's gone through one VS and no Lysander, so he probably has 2 outs to Lysander in his hand, in his deck. I think we want to end here. I'm also going to level ball to find a Rowlet, because I think I'm going to try and get 3 Decidueye out this game, rather than have the space for a second Tapu Lele, simply because I can definitely see, like, one of our Pokemon is going to be knocked out next turn. I'm hoping it's going to be this Tapu Lele, but it could literally be one of the Decidueyes or anything, really. Do get the Forest as well. I'm going to hold the Forest just so we can bounce it when we actually have something to deal with, because this only affects Grass and Lightning types. So yeah, we are just going to double Feather Arrow the active, and then Energy Drive him for knockout. Skew the prize trade back in our favour, only going down to 4 prizes as well, so N isn't too much of a punish. If he, like I say, if he Sky High Claws us, that's fine, because we can just then send up a load of Ninetales, and he's in that awkward spot where he doesn't, if he GX attacks, like he can't GX attack or Sky High Claws really, because we can Ice Path both back onto him. Didn't Lysander, so that means we are going to be able to use Ninetales next turn. Though we did get DCE plus Forest, so we could even... Oh, okay, yeah, okay, there's the choice band gone. So I was going to say we could even actually get a knockout with Decidueye next turn, but now he's done that, we can't. But that's fine. I'm actually tempted to not even Sycamore here. We don't really need anything as such. And I don't want to discard this DCE before I need to. But I also don't want to attach it. We've gone through a lot of resources. This is our last DCE, so... yeah, I don't think I want to attach it. I think I'm just going to double Feather Arrow the bench here. I haven't seen Max Potion in his list, but he could still play Max Potion, so I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket by putting all of the damage on here. Do want to play the Forest here just to get maximum damage out of this Ice Path. Though we could potentially... Not Ice Path, sorry, Ice Blade. We could Ice Blade the bench. Either way, it doesn't really matter. So I think actually we're better off Ice Blading the... should we Ice Blade the bench here? Yeah, I think we should Ice Blade the bench here, because it means he can't really get value out of Aero Trailing another Tapu Koko. So we're just going to Ice Blade the bench instead. I'm not bothered about this getting Max Potioned if he does play Max Potion, because it's only a support Pokemon, and, you know, it's not a Tapu Koko. So I don't mind him knocking out, fully healing this Oranguru, because as long as we can always deal with his attacker, that's the main thing, really. He's not getting too much value out of this from this hand anyway. So he may not be that bothered about Max Potioning. Still haven't played into Tapu Thunder, so we're still fine to... Like, we were correct not to play the energy, and we're still fine to Ice Blade him back if he... Or Ice Path him back if he does go for the GX attack. Does grab the Lysander to get Rowlet. He's going to be going for the Sky High Claws here just for a free prize. Could have potentially attaches a 4th energy. Why would he attach a 4th energy? Oh, we get the Dartrix. That's pretty unfortunate. Why would he attach a 4th energy there? There's no real reason to. He can't one-shot anything on our board. So I'm fine to just double snipe this Oranguru again. But if we'd double sniped the active, we could actually get a knockout with the Decidueye this turn. So potentially that was the play last turn. But I'd rather just take the prize here, I think. We really don't need to do anything. Like, there's no point in doing anything, really. Don't want to attach his energy just because he's only 2 prizes away, so Tapu Thunder is his like win condition here. Don't want to bench anything. So yeah, we may as well just hold this hand. There's nothing to really do here. Other than Ice Blade him in the face. Tapu Thunder's doing 180 right now, so Choice Band. Sorry, Kukui doesn't get the knockout as well. I should have potentially bounced the stadium there actually. But it honestly doesn't matter what damage this is on really. 40, 60. Yeah, I should have bounced the stadium that turn. That was a misplay. Goes to the Lysander. We have the DCE to retreat out. I think we've gone through both of our float stones. Oh, I've only gone through 1 float stone as well. Goes to Sky High Claws. So if he has access to Lysander here, he has 3 VS Eco left, so he could potentially Lysander this for knockout next turn. How many N have we gone through? I think we have 1 prized, right? Let's Ultra Ball to see if we have an N prized. I can't remember whether it was this game or last game. We probably do. Okay, so we can't N him out of this current hand. We have Float Stone. Okay, we could go for a very, very big play here. If we... This is it's a real risky play, but if he has Lysander anyway... If he has Lysander anyway, we've lost the game. But if we can... So if we attach the DCE, if we get the Shaman off of the... How many of these cards are insta-play cards? Potentially not many of them. I think we want to get the Shaman here. So if we attach the DCE here, we're going to do 90. We can bounce the stadium. We can attach the DCE. So doing 90 right now. 110. So double snipes, that's 150. So if we can find our last Decidueye here, we can actually win the game. We have Revitalizer now, so we can get Rowlet Dartrix, and we have an Ultra Ball plus a Lysander in the plus a Decidueye in the deck. So then all we need to do is hit Float Stone. Okay, I think we can draw enough cards here to be able to win this game. I need to check that I've done the maths right. 40, 60, plus 90 is 150. Yeah. So if we can find this last Decidueye. So we're shamaning for 4 cards here. And then we can, Sycamore into the rest of our deck. So we just need to find Floatstone and Decidueye, and we have outs for those. So then we just Sycamore into Floatstone plus Decidueye. Oh no, oh yeah, but I was going to say that's not our last 2 prizes, but that's his last Pokemon, so that's fine. Cool. Okay, I didn't think I had that there. I thought I just lost myself the game. And then we can indeed Razor Leaf for the game. We will say GG. And yeah, that was a pretty close game 2. He was really close to actually knocking us out there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Not going to do too much post commentary. But yeah, look forward to round 2 coming up in the next 3 or 4 days, hopefully. And yeah, I'll see all you guys soon. The deck list is on the side if you want to try it out. Like I say, it's a bit of a different version from what me and Joe have been testing. Want to try it without the VS Seeker and with a little bit less emphasis on the trainers mails and stuff. But yeah, give it a go. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from OmniPoke, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another video.